On today's case, Ms. Hart was on track to marry Mr. Livingston, but then a series of unfortunate events took place. Mr. Livingston, Ms. Hart, you are here in court today because you say your partner is committed to everything in his life, but you admit the lines of communication have completely broken down, and today you are seeking answers.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Livingston, you say you want to save your relationship with Ms. Hart, but you need her to be more compassionate and to learn how to compromise.
Yes, Your Honor.
He's completely let his career and his mentoring program get out of control. And I need to know what's going on because I'm completely shut out. And if I don't get any real answers today to get out of this limbo that we're in, I'm done.
All right, Mr. Livingston, tag, you're in. You heard what Ms. Hart said.
I love this woman. I want to start out there. I love this woman.
I like that. That
From the bottom
starts us
of her
off
feet to the
good.
top of her head.
Okay, so something tells me that a lot of things happened during the pandemic. Take your time.
Sweets, my daughter and I were extremely close, Your Honor. I raised my daughter. Thank you kindly. I raised my daughter from 6th grade forward. Her mom took a job that took her away, and I took full custody. I was at the parent-teacher conferences, the trips, everything. And so my daughter was everything. She became a teacher like me.
Wow.
She was a far superior teacher than I could ever be. She taught special ed. She was just amazing. She was very charitable. She worked at animal shelters. Even during the pandemic, she had her mask on, and she wasn't supposed to because of her heart condition. But still, she's like, "Dad, I got to show up. I got to go. What you taught me."
Because his daughter was so passionate about teaching, and now she's not here. And with him trying to cope with that loss, he just started, doing more and more things for these children. I'm upstairs getting dressed, and his phone rings like it always does, and he immediately leaves. No, hey babe, I had to step out for a minute. So I'm thinking maybe he went to go get gas. So I'm calling him. I called you at least 5 times.
In that particular incident, Your Honor, a student was displaced, had to leave his respective home. It got kind of ugly there with the parental figures, and he needed somewhere to go. He wanted to go to a relative's house, and he called me.
Okay.
And you could have just said that instead of running out the door.
But I was in the moment, and I was in the moment, and I had to go, and I'm always there for you. I will always.
Mr. Livingston, stop for 1 second. You are rightfully grieving the loss of your child. But what boundaries are you putting in place so that you don't unduly burden your family that's still here, meaning Ms. Hart, with that loss while you're dealing with it, sir? With the loss of your child and how that has manifested itself with you. But I take this so seriously, relationships and wonderful, kind people like you. I really wanted to get the benefit of somebody else's expertise. So I asked one of my team of experts to join me to help you, if that's all right.
That'd be fine.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Robert, would you please ask Dr. James Francis to join us, please?
Sure.
Thank you. Everybody does not grieve the same way. And that's why I wanted to ask Dr. Francis to come in. Dr. Francis, welcome to the courtroom. Sir, tell me a little bit about your background for the benefit of our plaintiff and defendant.
Thank you, Judge Starr. Sir, first of all, I honor your story and I honor what you've been through.
Thank you.
But I'm a licensed mental health clinician. I serve adults, individuals, and couples, and I'd like to help because one of my specialties is grief, as well as anxiety, depression, and some addiction. And so just from hearing what you guys have been going through, I'd like to offer any help that I can.
Dr. Francis, what is manifesting itself? How's grief manifesting itself with Mr. Livingston as far as you can tell?
So from what I've observed, there seems to be some outlets that you're looking for. You mentioned alcohol. And even looking towards the children that you work with. I mean, that's amazing work that you're doing. However, I think that the focus is on building a community, but I think the community you need is more of your peers and more of the people who have been through what you've been through.
And so leaning into the community with Ms. Hart means bringing her into his grieving process. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
And Ms. Hart, I think that has been the point that you have felt shut out of this. Am I correct?
Yes.